Hello and welcome to the Watchtower. I am your host, Desi Feldman, and my co-host,
Ben Bortner. Welcome to today's episode, where first, I guess, we will talk about this week's episode of The Flash, as we do every week. So, Desi, summarize what happened in this episode for us.
Okay, so in this episode, we see Wally West start to have signs of gaining powers for the first time, and at this point, we can tell he's going to gain his powers from alchemy, and
which is a twist on what usually happens, especially in the comics, where he imitates an event done by Barry Allen to recreate the powers because he wants them, which is similar to what happens in this show. But what they're doing here is Alchemy, who's the big bad of this season, is trying to give people powers from who had powers on a parallel timeline that Barry Allen created. If you haven't been watching The Flash, this is very complicated.
The show just got very confusing.
I mean, it was always very confusing, but man, this is confusing. And now he's trying to give Wally West his powers, which, of course, in the other universe, he was Kid Flash, who is a major character in the comics.
I don't know
eventually
why
becomes the Flash later.
Yeah, I don't know why he's Kid Flash in the parallel universe if he's the only Flash.
Yeah, that is something that bugs me.
I mean, he's Kid Flash in the comics, so I guess.
Yes, but it also doesn't make any sense.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
So we see Wally West start to turn evil a bit in the episode.
Yeah. You saw a bit more of Joe's romance with the DA, I believe her name is.
I forget what her name is.
I don't know what her name is.
I don't know what the deal with her is. What do you think? Do you have any idea what's up with that?
Oh, she's just. You know what? I think she's just a love interest.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
it is. I don't think so.
Because I mean, she wasn't in before like 2 episodes ago, right? They just kind of introduced her.
No, she first appeared like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Just kind of a weird introduction. Like,
I think she's definitely got to be something.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, I don't know why else they would introduce her in the show. I don't think anyone cares who Dad's dating, honestly.
Yeah, but also I think it's useful, right?
What do you mean?
You know, just for expanding the world.
Spamming the world.
Expanding the world.
Oh, expanding the world.
Yeah.
I think you mean like spamming the world with like useless information.
No, it's world building.
No, but I don't.
It's also like developing Joe's arc as a person, because over the course we've seen him. We've seen him as Mopey Dad Joe. We've seen him as Angry Dad Joe. You know, now we're seeing him as Happy Dad Joe.
Not even he's not being a dad anymore. He's
you know, they have to have their own lives, man.
Yeah, but I really suspect she's something, because I don't see any other reason why they would bring her on the show. I think maybe she's probably like a metahuman, or I don't know if she'll turn evil or something. But
you know, it's always possible that she had powers in Flashpoint. In fact, now that I say that, that's definitely where they're going with this.
I think she probably had powers in Flashpoint.
Yeah. That is. Oh God. Wow. Yep. That's definitely where they're going with that.
Wow. I'm glad you brought that up, Ben.
Wow. Yep. Yep. That seems very predictable.
Yeah, and I don't see why, like, any other reason they would bring her in the show, and so we'll see where they take that.
Yeah.
And it'll probably become more obvious what she's actually doing there as the episodes progress.
Yeah. So I mean, also Caitlin, what's going on with her? Right? She's been expanding her powers. She stole some power dampening gauntlets from Cisco.
Yeah, and
so now she does. So now she only occasionally has to use them. But then she reveals to the team that she has powers. Right?
Yeah, I was actually. I think that was. I liked the ways they revealed it. I think it was decent.
I think it would have been a more powerful character moment if she had done it herself.
Do you think they should have dragged it
Especially
out longer?
Since Caitlin doesn't really have any agency of her own in this entire show. So
yeah. I also. What did we? Sorry. Do you remember the part where we have Cisco vibes her in the future and sees her as Killer Frost? And they're having like a vibe versus Killer Frost battle.
As soon as I saw that, I think I might be onto something here. So Or I might not be, because again, Flash hates unpredictable twists.
Really.
It's just, oh man, we have to go with the most predictable thing. So what I think is going to happen is that Vibe is actually the bad guy in that scene, and Killer Frost is the good person. Except I wouldn't like that, because I still like Cisco more than Caitlin.
Yeah.
I don't even like... No, I don't like both of them.
I feel like that's too unpredictable of a twist.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's...
And the other thing, we're not even sure yet if on the show they're going to make Caitlin turn evil.
That's true, except I think we are.
Do you think she's going to turn evil?
I mean, vibe the future, right?
Yeah, but he said it doesn't always have to come true, does it?
I mean, I guess, but it's also the future, and no time travel is occurring right now. Of course, it could, since there's, like, Legends of Tomorrow, a whole show based around time travel.
Yeah, really.
It kind of really defeats the lesson from the first few episodes where, oh, you're not supposed to time travel, when, like, the Legends do it all the time, man. It's just kind of...
Yeah.
It's the plot of their show.
So...
Oh, man.
I'm interested...
Have you watched Legends of Tomorrow at all?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my God. Well, it's definitely gone way downhill since Season 2 started.
Oh, boy.
And Season 1 wasn't even that good. So... It's not that great, but yeah. So
I'm interested in seeing where they're gonna take Caitlin's character.
Yeah.
Like I said in other episodes, I really like this arc because I feel like Caitlin's bringing more to the show now.
Yeah, I think she is. I think it's definitely a roundabout way of doing it. And there's not really like much transition period between her like being Caitlin and her being like an angry person.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
Well,
we've talked about this before, though.
That's why I'm not sure if she's going to turn evil, because there hasn't been many signs of her actually becoming very evil.
Yeah, you think so?
The only thing I can think of is this was either the previous episode or the episode before that, where her mother says, "Don't use your powers," and then she gets mad and smashes.
I mean,
something.
like, I don't understand why they had to have the thing with her mom. I mean, I wish they had expanded that previously, because her mom hasn't really ever been seen before, right?
Yeah, that was her first appearance in the whole show.
I don't remember much at all about that episode. It's just
I
she's probably not going to show up at all, right? And
I think they did need some way to say that the more Caitlin uses her powers, the closer she'll become to Killer Frost.
That's so stupid. That's like it plays into Destiny.
Well, no, but I think they did need that just to say in the show, and I think they needed someone to say that.
Yeah, except the thing is, you shouldn't just because I was evil in another universe, I'm going to turn evil. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, who knows?
It just does not make any sense. There's no transition period.
The Flash doesn't always make sense, Ben.
Yeah, I know, but there should be there shouldn't be. We shouldn't be justifying bad writing, man. So it's what else happened? So near the end. Oh, and Harrison Wells has this whole thing about hitting on Joe's girlfriend. It's pretty funny.
Oh boy, what do you think? Before we get to the end, what do you think about HR, the third like Harrison Wells?
I hate him. I think he's annoying.
Him?
I think he's
wow.
I have very strong opinions, man.
you know, I don't know if I'd go as much as. Yeah, I hate him, but
he's pretty annoying.
Yeah,
he's not as likable as the season two.
Yeah, I do think
and he's not evil like the season one. So season one.
Yeah,
Wells, so.
maybe he will be evil.
Also, I still don't see a reason why we can't just make Jesse Quick and Harrison Wells come back. Right
yeah, away, I don't know why, but. Yeah, I don't think he's as good as the other Harrison Wells. Actually, to be honest, he's like a discount Cisco.
Yeah.
Really, he's more like Cisco but worse. And since we already have Cisco as that character, we don't need another character like that who's not even like as fun of a person.
I mean, he's not useful at all. They should just send him back.
Well, they're
literally just keeping him there because he told them to keep him there.
Yeah, they had that
for bad
deal.
Reasons. It's just
no, they had a deal that he was gonna.
Did they?
Yeah, in the last episode, it didn't make much sense, but the deal was he was going to give them ideas, I guess, because I guess he's a creative guy.
No, but no. But the thing is, he's not, and he's just he's been stealing stuff, and I found that vaguely funny. But it's just the rest has just been. I don't see the point of this character. He's not doing anything. He's just kind of an obstacle, and he's not really three-dimensional. It's not that great.
Yeah, well, maybe he'll have some twist to him. Do you think they will try to pull a twist with HR?
No, I think they already did it, and
fair.
I mean, it's gonna be one disappointing character. So after that, they decide to set a trap for Alchemy, who's given people powers.
Right.
And they use that with Wally. So Wally finds his secret headquarters because he's getting visions in his head, right?
Yeah.
And the Flash and the police unit follow him there. But then Wally's like, oh man, I'm gonna sabotage Alchemy's plans because that's what they're supposed to do. And then Flash fights Alchemy. Flash basically sort of defeats him, and then this other guy comes in, Savitar, who's way faster than the Flash, and just kind of kills everyone.
Yeah, the last.
It's cool too because the speed effects are actually faster. If you saw that,
I guess.
Because no, it takes 5 or 6 frames for the Flash's speed effect across the screen, and it takes 2 for Savitar's. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool, yeah.
And then Savitar comes in threatening a bunch of people, saying, or I think he threatens the Flash, saying, "I am the god of speed," and it's just that was a bit stupid. But, I mean, anything can be done interesting.
Yeah, well,
kind of a stupid line of dialogue.
I think that was just probably one of the strangest moments in the whole show.
Yeah, I think if they just said, "My name is Savitar," that would have worked.
Yes,
but then it's "I am the god of speed."
Well, not even that. He doesn't even seem to be a metahuman. He's a giant.
He's not a giant.
Yeah,
I don't remember that part.
Well, he doesn't look very. He's
he is wearing a weird suit.
Yeah, he doesn't look.
I think it is a suit.
Very human, and he was holding the Flash with one hand though.
That's true.
That's not something a normal human can usually do.
Yeah, it could be any number of things, and so Savitar, I believe, is a character from the comics. I'm not that informed on his history, and I think the reason why they chose him was because he's obscure. I'm not excited about the Flash having another speedster villain for its central villain.
Yeah,
it's been done before.
It's Alchemy.
It's just gonna
Yeah, actually,
they already figured out how to catch people when they're faster than you, right? You just do a speed mirage or something. You do the thing that they did with Zoom, right?
Yeah, and with
also
Harrison Wells. We've already had 2 speedster villains in the past 2 seasons. So we don't really need a third one. But I think Alchemy is more the main villain, and so I think they're gonna just change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
When do you? Oh, this is more off topic, which is. When do you think Wally West is going to get his powers?
Man, I'm feeling sometime in the next few episodes because they're
they're
really leading into it.
Yeah, they're really
just don't do it. That's going to be so unsatisfying.
No, that's going to be very disappointing. I really want Wally to get powers because I think it would make the show a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see Wally moping around all the time too because he just seems sad now.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all we have to say for the Flash this week. Well, actually, hold on. I think the next. Actually, no. Sorry. The next episode of the Flash is still happening, but all the other DC superhero shows are not happening for a bit because they until I think the week after Thanksgiving, because there's this big superhero crossover event, right? There's going to be the Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow Vixen crossover thing, and it's going to be insane. Probably not going to be that great, but you know, it's going to be okay. I really wonder how it's going to work out, but hopefully it's going to be good. I'm excited for that, but I think The Flash actually will have an episode next week.
Okay.
Except, you know what won't happen next week? We won't have an episode next week.
Yes, Thanksgiving. Happy
Thanksgiving. Early happy Thanksgiving. Go spend time with your families and stuff. Just do that. You know, have a fun time. So going on to other CW shows, Desi's not going to really be involved in this, but man, Arrow is good this season. Like, really good, man. It's just very good, and I just wanted to say that. Like, I don't know, I haven't really formulated my opinions about it yet, but it is definitely a lot better than the last 2 seasons. So anyway, some big news broke the past, I don't know, maybe like 2 days ago. There's going to be an Inhumans TV show instead of a Inhumans movie. Right, except there is actually going to be an Inhumans movie because the first 2 episodes are going to premiere in theaters.
So
as a movie. So
wait, in 2019?
In 2017.
Wait, what?
Starting next year.
I thought they said they were going to make an Inhumans movie in 2019.
Yeah, they are. That's canceled.
Great. Okay.
I think it was actually going to come out in 2020, but
oh, it might have. Yeah. It was going to come out after Infinity Wars.
Yeah. Sometime later.
So they canceled.
There are currently like 3 untitled Marvel films coming out after Infinity War right now. So hopefully those are good. But what do you think? So the Inhumans have been introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is Marvel's current ABC show. They're basically mutant ripoffs, sort of.
Yeah, they're like discount X-Men pretty much, right?
They in the comics right now, absolutely. 10 years ago, they were sort of villains, anti-heroes-ish. Definitely a lot more mysterious and not sort of ironically weirder than the X-Men, because the X-Men are pretty weird. They are the quote-unquote weirdest superhero team. But I mean, they just go in adventures in space all the time. But the Inhumans are just like, their powers are so like out of the ordinary, and they turn into animals and stuff sometimes, and it's just like,
oh wow,
it's so weird. But this is actually, now that I think about it, this is actually good, because I don't want an Inhumans movie. I think it would kind of suck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mythology to unpack there, and I think definitely it's more useful to go into it with a TV show mindset.
Yeah, and also I haven't been keeping up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I never got really into it, but isn't that building up into Inhumans? Haven't there been?
Inhumans have been around for like 3 seasons now, actually.
Yeah, okay.
And they're just kind of a regular part of life in the current show.
Yeah, so I think
and right now they're doing this whole Ghost Rider thing, which I'm still not sure actually works or not.
Yeah.
And well, the Inhumans thing has really been sidelined for the most part.
Because of Ghost Rider?
No, it's just because I think Marvel decided not to use the Inhumans. Probably because, not to use the Inhumans as much, probably because they're going to be introduced in this.
Yeah.
My problem is that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. makes the Inhumans' origin very, very, very confusing. And I'm not quite sure how it's going to fit in with the space-traveling kingdom that they are in the comics, which I think is what they're going to do in the TV show.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. I also wonder if this is going to be the first superhero show to kind of tie in with, or first Marvel show to kind of tie in with the movies more. Because they're definitely a bigger thing, right? Mm-hmm. They're definitely a bigger deal. And even, of course, the Inhumans are a pretty big deal, too, just on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But it's not quite like, oh, we really need to, like, take notice of this in the movies sort of thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wish the movies would do a little more of, actually, is
just kind of tie in more
with the TV
shows.
Yeah, a little time in more with the TV shows.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think I mean, they've kind of like excused it by saying it's very hard to line up TV shows and movies because TV shows are made very fast and movies take like 2 years to make.
Yeah.
And we need to plan this out a lot in ahead. And TV happens very spontaneously. Like you get greenlit or you don't get greenlit. Like Marvel has had like 3 TV shows, 3 pilots being canceled like last year. There was going to be like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff that was going to happen. There was going to be another show, and Agent Carter was canceled, which is what happens when you have a terrible season 2 after an amazing season 1, by the way. So, yeah, man, that was really disappointing. Agent Carter, if I can go on a little tangent.
Go ahead.
First season, solid 8 episodes, really great. For some reason, that's not on Netflix yet, but it really should be. And I'm really confused because ABC usually puts all of their stuff on Netflix, but it's really weird. And season 2 was just absolutely terrible. Didn't really, if I remember, it kind of made things like more confusing. And that show was kind of pitched as an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff, which is kind of stupid. So,
I see.
I think also, actually, now that I think about it, it might have been because Agent Carter actually dies in Civil War. So now that I think about that,
oh boy,
even though that show is set in like the 40s or the 50s or something, it could still be a reasonable explanation. But anyway, back to Inhumans. So also another possibility. So have you heard of Miss Marvel?
No.
She is a Muslim American.
Oh no, I know who she is. I'm just talking about. Is there like news about her that you were talking about?
Okay, so no, except my theory is she is an Inhuman, and Captain Marvel is coming out in 2018.
Yeah.
And obviously you have to have Captain Marvel before Miss Marvel because Miss Marvel is like inspired by Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But I think an Inhumans TV show could definitely like lead the way and pave the way for a Miss Marvel TV show, which they have been wanting to get off the ground since that character like became popular. And which is when I mean Miss Marvel was created like 2 years ago in the comics. Mm-hmm. And it's just great stuff, man. You should, if you read any comic ever, read Miss Marvel. I'm kidding. There's so many better comics, but it's definitely up there. No offense, G. Willow Wilson. It's fantastic. Actually, currently I really love the dynamic that they have between Miss Marvel and the young Miles Morales Spider-Man. Because I think they're setting up a romance in the comics. Actually, I would love to have a Miles Morales Spider-Man show too. That would be, now that I think about this, it's all coming together.
Well, didn't they announce like an animated series or something?
I don't know. Miss Marvel just happened. I think probably. I don't care. Actually, right now they just canceled the current Spider-Man animated series and are rebooting it for summer 2017. I think to coincide with the Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be a lot better because the previous one just sucked. I'm a firm believer in that cartoons can be just as good as any other media, and no, not as good. Oh man, Marvel's actually whole slew of animated shows is just terrible right now. Clearly just doing it for the money. It just because like those characters are popular, right? Because of the movies. They're just making it as similar to the movies as possible, kind of pitching it as a sort of like, oh, there's a continuation of the movies, except then it's not.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just it's kind of stupid, but yeah. So also, I think there's like a Cloak and Dagger series that's coming out as a Marvel thing.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, yeah. They're another teen superhero group thing. Or they're another teen superhero duo. I think that's actually going to be on Freeform, formerly called ABC Family, I believe. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Who knows how that's going to work out. It's going to be pretty interesting. There's also the Runaways TV show on Hulu, which I am just going to abuse the free trial for, right? I'm not getting Hulu. It's Marvel has quite a TV lineup, none of which seems to be tying together at all. It's kind of worrying, actually, because they pitched this whole thing as coming as all wrapped in one, right? And yet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. seems to really be the only one that actually acknowledges the movies. And, and the TV shows just in general, besides the Netflix stuff, which clearly exist in their own pocket. They don't necessarily need to, except I would love to see some more connection there.
Yeah, I'd love to see connections with the Defenders TV shows with the MCU movies.
Yeah. Or like maybe at least some acknowledgement in like the new Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah,
they're supposed to be in the same
New York
place.
Yeah,
and they're both street level stuff, so
and
it should happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure in the new Spider-Man movies, there's got to be some teases and Easter eggs.
Yeah. Actually, I don't 100% know if it's like a really blurry image, but there's like a picture of a guy in a spider suit in Daredevil in Ben Urich's office in the first season of Daredevil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pretty blurry and it's like a darkly lit photo, but it's definitely a guy in a suit of some sort, and it looks pretty similar to Spider-Man's suit.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, I think that's just, but they also didn't own the rights to Spider-Man at the time. So, who knows? But there were talks going on behind the scenes. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's something.
It's pretty interesting when you think about it, but there needs to be like some connection soon.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably just going to be like, it's probably going to be separate for a pretty long time, maybe some acknowledgments here and there.
No, but there has to be, there just has to be some Easter eggs or at least some dialogue references to characters.
I've been researching the timeline of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and maybe this explains some stuff. Actually, apparently all the Netflix shows are supposed to happen like in the period of like in between Avengers 1 and Avengers 2.
Yeah,
Daredevil's supposed to take place like the winter after the first Avengers.
Yeah, after what are they calling it in New York? The
incident.
Yeah, the incident. There
actually, I think it's supposed to take place in the winter. I don't know. No, it's supposed to take place like spring to summer 2013, and then the second season takes place like November to December of 2013, and Jessica Jones takes place about like September to October 2013.
Yeah, and in Jessica Jones,
I assume Luke Cage takes place also around that time.
Yeah, and in Jessica Jones, we actually see people getting mad because of the incident.
Wait, actually, Luke Cage has specific dates. It is actually set in like summer 2014.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how stuff is like set up from that. So
yeah,
it's going to be cool to see. Yeah. So moving on from all the Marvel discussion, so we had a conversation yesterday, and we were like, "Hey, let's include something about Kong Skull Island since there's like a new trailer coming out."
Oh, for the new King Kong movie.
Yeah. So what they're doing is like they're building up a Godzilla King Kong universe or something.
Well, I think they want to make
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They want to make a Godzilla vs King Kong movie.
Yeah, that's coming out. But it's called Godzilla v Kong.
Yeah,
Dawn of Justice.
No, we don't talk about Dawn of Justice. And so what they're trying to do, I think, is make a Godzilla vs King Kong movie, but they can't use the King Kong that came out in like 2005, I believe. The one with Jack Black.
Was that the Peter Jackson one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the King Kong in that is relatively small compared to Godzilla. So in the new one that's coming out next year, Kong Skull Island, King Kong is like giant. Like,
yeah. They came out with like a Comic-Con teaser, I don't know, a few months ago, and I guess whenever Comic-Con happened, July, and that looks pretty interesting. It has a lot of people from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, John C. Reilly. Jeez.
It's a lot of Marvel actors.
Everyone on the first page of the Google actors list is from Marvel movies. It's
really
kind of hilarious.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
I like that because they're all pretty good actors. So
yeah. I mean, it's good. So there you go. Perfectly.
Yeah,
reasonable.
It looks like we're gonna get to explore the island that King Kong lives on, which
yeah,
will be
exactly.
fun.
I mean, it looks like a really interesting movie, and I actually haven't seen the 2014 Godzilla movie. Actually, all I know is that the people who played Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron
I
played
saw it.
a husband
were
and
in it.
wife on Godzilla, which is could be vaguely creepy from an acting standpoint. But
maybe, I don't know. That Godzilla movie, it was okay, just to say the least.
it was okay.
But let's talk about King Kong right now.
What are your opinions on actually like disaster movies in general?
Disaster movies, or are we talking like monster movies?
Monster movies, disaster movies, kind of.
So
Probably like a large group of people who are like foaming at the mouths right now. Oh God! Did Ben just say those are the same thing?
No, my opinion on those,
Sorry, monster movie and disaster movie aficionados.
Yeah, I don't think they're not my favorite type of movies, but they're definitely fun. Like like King Kong. It's just fun to watch a giant gorilla.
I guess the monster movies are more of an American thing. Sorry, monster movies are more of a Japanese thing. And what's it called? Sorry, disaster movies are more of an American thing.
Yeah, so
and it's probably some cultural divide, and I think they're trying to like merge the two now.
Yeah. But I like them. They're fun. The last King Kong movie in 2005, I haven't seen it. I saw it last like a couple years ago, so my memory is a little foggy on it. But I remember it was kind of fun to watch. There were some like really not fun moments to watch because like everything on the island is giant, and what I really remember is those humongous bugs that creep the hell out of me.
Sorry, humongous bugs? Explain.
Wait, oh yeah, you didn't see the movie.
No, I've not seen it.
No, in the movie there's a scene where like you just see a giant
I thought Godzilla was just a giant
I'm talking about
dinosaur.
King Kong.
Oh, okay.
King Kong with the 2005 movie.
Peter Jackson?
Yeah, Peter Jackson. It might not be 2005. I might be getting mixed up. But the giant bugs.
It is 2005, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh God.
Man, I don't know. I spent a pretty large portion of my childhood watching like old Godzilla movies and old King Kong movies. It's just like, but I can't like, I don't actually like remember that much about them.
Yeah, they're not so memorable.
Yeah, and it seems like something specifically from my childhood, you know. So
yeah.
It's gonna be weird to see how Kong Skull Island pairs up with that.
Yeah, one thing I hope they do with Kong Skull Island or this is like I think the original, or not the original, but like the latest King Kong movie, the 2005 one. I think it was just. It was too long, and I really hope they don't do that with the new one.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Jackson, right? Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
He loves doing those long movies.
The runtime of the 2005 King Kong is 3 hours and 21 minutes.
Oh, my God.
And it really didn't need to be that long. I think...
Jeez, man.
It was cool for like 2 hours, and then I just was like, when is this going to end?
Yeah. I mean, so you know the thing with the Amazing Spider-Man movies, right? Where they just there's like maybe 4 or 5 hours of footage actually shot for that movie, but they just edited it down to like a pulp, which is why those movies make no sense at times. Yeah, there's so many scenes just missing. It's kind of hilarious, actually. It's wow, those movies, man.
Yeah, but I'm just hoping this new Kong Skull Island, as cool as it is to see all these like weird, creepy things on the island, I hope they don't make it go on for 3 hours. Because I got really sick of it in the 2005 one.
So some of the shots in the trailer look really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Just from a filmmaker perspective, that's... Wow, those are some really good shots. And
oh man, the final shot at the end where you see, it's like the only shot you really see of King Kong. Yeah. The gorilla itself just actually
looks really good,
lifting its head.
And like knowing that, having a feeling of like depth and stuff is very hard to do with CG. That's it looks good. So
Yeah. One thing I'm wondering if they're gonna do, they're not calling this movie King Kong. They're just calling it Kong Skull Island. So
it's an attempt to make it like grittier and stuff, right?
Yeah, but do you think they're gonna follow the?
Also, I think it like separates it from like Donkey Kong and stuff, you know.
Oh, okay. But do you think they're gonna follow like the classic storyline where he goes into New York and then climbs up the building with the planes? No,
absolutely not. I think they want to do something different.
Yeah.
And I mean, Godzilla was received relatively well from critics, right? And this movie has like a lot of Oscar-winning cast. And I think generally the stuff that makes monster movies good is, the characters and how they react to these otherworldly phenomenons and stuff. Things that are completely out of the ordinary. That's always what you got to do with monster movies. And, if the cast can pull it off, if it's well written, I think it's going to be good.
We see Sam Jackson giving some awesome monologues in the trailer.
Yeah, man. I mean, he always does.
Yeah, he always does.
There's one thing you can count on for Samuel L. Jackson, except for in the the Quicksilver commercial, you know, he's always like Quicksilver card. Yeah, man, that was hilarious. I love Samuel L. Jackson.
I think he gives some great like monologues. So, and we see a little bit of that in the trailer. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how it pans out. I think it's going to be good. I wouldn't underestimate it, but I'm also not hyped about this that much because I just don't care.
You're just not a fan of these movies?
I don't have much invested in King Kong.
Really? I don't know.
I don't have much invested in Godzilla, so
I'm kind of hyped about this movie. I just hope they don't make it like really dark. That's the only thing. Like,
I think they will.
Well, no, I mean, I get that.
From the general vibe from this trailer, I feel like it's definitely going to be a more serious take on the subject matter, and
I guess
that's okay.
Well, I think
you do have to acknowledge that we're talking about a giant gorilla at some point.
Yeah, and not only giant gorilla. I don't know. In the Peter Jackson King Kong, they had like dinosaurs and other giant creatures. So
yeah,
they can't have it taken too seriously and too gritty. But I do think they can make it somewhat dark and gritty.
Yeah, so inform me as a fan of these movies. Are Godzilla and King Kong typically associated with one another?
I guess, yeah. And
yeah,
we've all...
Because I don't think they're actually owned by the same company. I think like Universal just has like the rights to both of them.
Well, if you think about it, they're some of like the most classic giant monsters in movies. So, and I think people have always wanted to see like a Godzilla versus King Kong movie.
Yeah. So, moving on, Beauty and the Beast trailer that just came out. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, I think this is actually another with the live action reboots of stuff. I think they are actually like trying to tie all these Disney movies things together, right?
You think they're gonna tie all the Disney movies together and make their own Disney universe?
Disney Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
I don't know actually, but I think I've heard like rumors that's what they're doing.
Wow.
And I mean, how many of these are actually like received well, right? Because I haven't watched a single one except for Jungle Book. So, and I'm pretty sure it's like,
I haven't watched any of them either. So I'm not the best judge of these.
Jungle Book was pretty good. I like Jungle Book. It was really brought me back.
Yeah. Well, I heard is Tarzan based on the?
Tarzan is actually that's a Warner Bros. Thing.
Okay, it's his own thing.
Yeah. I think Disney is actually making their own version of Tarzan.
Oh boy.
But Tarzan is in the public domain.
Okay.
So anyone can make a movie off him. We could make a Tarzan movie if we really wanted. And actually, they're expanding public domain laws because Disney and Warner Bros. They've been like battling for having longer rights on their characters because Mickey Mouse is almost 100 years old, right?
Really?
He's I think they got it expanded from like 50 years to like 100 years or something.
Wow.
And I think they're fighting for like 120 years now. So, sometime in our lifetime, we could make a Mickey Mouse movie while not working for Disney.
Wow.
So
Disney owns everything these days, honestly.
Yeah, man. So. I mean, it's going to be insane once like Marvel characters are in the public domain. How are you even going to manage that, right?
Well,
so much fan fiction.
Well, there already is, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Except you can just like professional fan fiction.
Is that a thing? I think that's just called fiction.
Well, yeah, okay, but no. What I'm talking about is like if Marvel's still doing their Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, then how are people already get confused with the X-Men movies, man, and how those are in 2 different timelines?
Yeah.
How are they gonna even organize that? I guess it's like 40 years off or something, but still. Just that's going to be quite a hassle.
Yeah.
So anyway, Beauty and the Beast. What do you think?
I don't know. Looks pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of the cartoon, which I have very vague memories of watching as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
But it looks like they're taking a lot of scenes straight from the cartoon and putting them into
it's going to be interesting.
Live action. Emma Watson's in it, and she's a really good actor.
Yeah. I mean, all I can really comment on is again, the cinematography looks good. It looks like, hey, that's some cool shots. It's generally the same plot as the animated movie.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
The Beast is kind of scary. Got to say that.
Yeah. That's kind of weird, actually. He's very menacing.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's gonna turn out weird when they start doing the romance thing, especially since this is live action. Just have some guy. How are they gonna have Emma Watson kiss some guy in a green suit, and that's gonna happen, and and then it's gonna be bestiality all over again.
Oh boy, I'm excited for this.
Oh, I am not. I'm gonna have to get all these questions answered and more.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So it's pretty much all I have to say about that. Desi, we do actually have one more topic before we go.
What is it?
Edge of 17.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm pretty hyped for it.
Yep.
If you guys don't know, I'm really a big fan of teen girl comedies.
Yep.
I love Mean Girls and Juno, and that's the only ones I can think of right now. But I'm a big fan of those 2 movies. And, in the trailer, it says it's like both of those movies. So I'm like, yeah, it could be pretty good, couldn't it? It has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's going to be bad. It'll probably be meh. I don't like how they're appealing. I don't like how they're doing the I'm so awkward thing. In the trailer.
That's what teenage girls' comedies are.
Not really. Juno's not about that.
Okay.
No, except sure. There's always the underlying theme and stuff, but sure. But I generally categorize those as whoa. That was a stutter. I generally categorize those as sort of worse movies, but I think Juno is definitely in a league of its own. Might actually be my favorite movie. Just always gives me the feels every time I watch it. It's fantastic.
Okay.
If this movie is anything like that movie, I'll probably also like it. I'll put it into the 3 teenage girl movies I watch. So yeah, that is pretty much all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening, and we will see you 2 weeks from now with our discussion of Heroes versus Aliens or something, or whatever the DC crossover is called.
Yeah.
That's not going to be fully done until the night of our show, so, it could go either way. So we'll have discussion of the first 3 parts. Might put that back a week, but we will have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's going to be pretty fun. And also a full in-depth discussion on Edge of 17. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
And we will see you guys 2 weeks from now. Have a